Okay, guys, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, and that is the downfall of Lizzo. Yeah, man, it looks like something crazy is going on. We got a little news segment from MSNBC, so this is going to be interesting. Now, I'm going to be very real. I know I'm freshly shaved. I look good today, right? Look at this. Boom. Wow, I actually look kind of good. Not appropriate. This is not what it's about. It's about Lizzo, not about Papa Gut. Okay. Listen, here's the thing. Lizzo, I don't get it. Right? Here's the thing. She's not a bad singer, but she's a plus-size woman who happened to blow up as the body positivity movement blew up. Body positivity movement blew up. I feel like half of her shtick is aesthetic, right? It's like, oh, it's an aesthetic. Probably wouldn't be popular except for the time, the place. I'm just saying, she's okay. I don't know. The hype seems a little silly, but she wasn't. She's not too bad. I just wanted to say that. I'm not trying to be rude. That being said, I think a lot of the frame, and I've looked at like pieces. So like, you know, we're gonna do the full deep dive. I think a lot of this is going to have to do with the audience that she's engaging with, right? This is the thing. Lizzo is somebody who literally is famous because of body positivity. I like body positivity. I think you should love yourself so you can make positive change for yourself. I'm very overweight. I should learn to love my body and be confident so I can go out and go to the gym and stuff, because it can be, you can be self-conscious going to the gym. But sometimes it goes a little too far, and I feel like that's the audience that really is being engaged with. But anyway, let's just get into this. It says three former dancers accuse singer of weight shaming, harassment in a suit. Wow, I've never seen her wear a suit before. Let's go.
Today we have NBC News exclusive. Three former dancers for pop star Lizzo were accusing the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment.
That's according to a lawsuit filed Tuesday, in Los Angeles. Wait, today is Tuesday, isn't it?
Today is Tuesday, so that would be today, August 1st.
In Los Angeles. It's funny.
What are they doing?
That I have to ask what day it is. The dancers who accuse Lizzo, who's known for embracing body positivity, of weight shaming and pressuring them to touch a nude performer at an overseas strip club. NBC News correspondent.
Now that's okay. What does that mean?
Romo is following the story for us.
I'm going to probably read the article after, but what does it mean?
Tell us more about this lawsuit and what these former dancers are.
And one thing to keep in mind. Understand that these are allegations in a lawsuit, and we really need to get our brains around this very fundamental thing called innocent until proven guilty. There, of course, are going to be negatives to that, just like there's negatives with everything. But I think that online, we are very quick to be guilty, 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 guilty until proven innocent. You know, and the damage is done almost. You know, it doesn't matter even if she is innocent, because there's going to be people that have a little bit of a frowny face on her. I'm just saying, I like to engage like that. People are like, why do you give people the benefit of the doubt? I'm engaging with innocent until proven guilty, and then that guilt proof has to be proportionate to what actually happened, right? Because a lot of times what happens is somebody does a bad thing, the internet sensationalizes it, I start off, and then I go, oh, this is bad. This is where they're at. This is innocent right here, my left hand. This is guilty. And then I start with them being innocent. I looked at the information, and then we end up here. We can end up close to guilty as they're saying. But we're like, she's guilty, but not of what you know what I mean? That's how the internet tends to happen. And it's something that we have to get our brains around. We learned this very fundamentally, right? That's how things should operate. Okay, so.
Yeah, a lot of shocking stuff here. Some wide-ranging accusations in this lawsuit. This was brought by those three former dancers. They're alleging...
Who thought this was a good outfit?
Sexual harassment.
What? Why?
Harassment and creation of a hostile workplace.
Whoa.
All of it is...
Steven Crowder? What?
Shocking to read, but there are also those claims that Lizzo body-shamed one of the dancers for weight gain. That's shocking, of course, because
That's
Lizzo
so funny. It's not funny, but it's so ironic. It's so ironic.
Such a beacon of body positivity. Those sexual harassment claims allegedly come from...
Wait, who? These women are thick. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying. Who would she... What dancer was she shaming?
An after party in Amsterdam that Lizzo allegedly hosted after a concert. Now, the plaintiffs claim she forced one of those dancers to touch a nude performer. There are also allegations that a dance captain, Shirlene Quigley, harassed people with religious discussions, accused of trying to convert them to her Christian beliefs after they said they were not interested.
Okay, so we got 3. What the fuck? We got 3 very interesting claims. Claim number 1. Lizzo shamed another performer for being too big. Number 2, she forced somebody to touch a dancer at a nightclub or something. And number 3, I guess an associate of hers tried to convert. On face value, what I'm hearing here is like Lizzo is an obnoxious asshole, and she's not like some kind of an almost predator. Because that's the energy that I'm receiving from people talking about this. When it comes to shaming the dancer, I don't know the specifics. We're going to get into the specifics. Right on face value, it's okay to have a boundary, or not a boundary. It's okay to say, hey, I'm the performer, and you are the, you're a different type of performer. Like, let's say I was Papa Gut and I was just singing and dancing. They called me Meatloaf. I don't know, and I don't even know a song. Let's say I was performing Hosanna in the Highest. Holy. Right? Maybe later. It's okay for me to say, hey, listen, I have dancers, and they should be maintaining a certain profile for, like, how fit they are. They're the dancers. I might be dancing as well, but I'm the star. It's okay to do that. However, if it gets like super personal where they're berating the person, well, first of all, it's still ironic. It's still kind of hypocritical because considering you blew up on body positivity. But I still understand that boundary. The problem is she plays into the body positivity a lot. Number 2, it's unprofessional to like berate that person. If she told a manager, hey, this guy might be getting a little heavy, I don't really like how they're moving on the dance floor or whatever, that's fine. But if it was more intimate, that's a problem. 2, the force thing. I don't know the specifics, but when I hear a bunch of people went to some kind of a nightclub or something in Amsterdam, I go, when you say force, do you mean that she forced you to do it, or do you mean that she pressured you to do it? You guys were all kind of drunk, and she pressured you to touch a nude performer in like a not super sexual way. Right, that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's like. Is it right? No, of course. There's going to be the aspect that this is their boss. They feel more pressure. It's my boss. They're rich. Whatever. I get it. But like, I just feel like the proportionality should make sure we maintain the proportionality here. I mean, Amsterdam, they have like movies about that shit. It's wild, right? And so like, okay, inappropriate. The converting thing, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with that. This is crazy. The false imprisonment. Where's that? Where's that? Did we hear that yet?
There are also some descriptions of an alleged 12-hour rehearsal described as excruciating.
Oh, okay.
It came after Lizzo
is that the false imprisonment?
Allegedly accused some of the dancers of drinking before performances. Now, the
that's because he took him to Amsterdam.
Dancers are all former employees now. 2 were let go. 1 resigned. The suit names Lizzo, her production company, and Quigley, and not all of them are accused of doing all of these various things. For example, there are also
Quigley?
Racial harassment allegations that appear to be focused only on that production company. Those body shaming allegations, though, are the ones that are getting the most headlines, of course, because Lizzo is just known for being such a beacon for so many people.
Well, I was going to say this is particularly striking because her brand is so centered around body positivity. Have we heard from Lizzo or her team?
Yeah, I've continued to check. They have not responded to NBC News requests for comment, but I've just checked social media. Lizzo has posted 3 times on Instagram today. Nothing about this. Of course, This was just filed today, so we do expect
security held a worker while her phone was taken and things were deleted off of it. Interesting.
To take some time to actually hear back from them, but we are definitely waiting to see what she and the other parties involved have to say.
Yeah.
If that's true, what did they delete? Did they delete shit that was like considered like, oh, don't take pictures of our set, we're trying to make a surprise? I mean, there's like no context here. 3 Lizzo former dancers have accused the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment lawsuit Tuesday. They are also allegedly pressured one of them to touch a nude performer and answered a club subjected to group to excruciating audition after leaving false accusations that they were drinking on the job. It's possible that it's possible that they were drinking on the job. I don't know. The dancers accused Lizzo, a performer known for embracing body positivity, physique, of calling attention to one dancer's weight gain and later berating and firing that dancer after she recorded a meeting because of a health condition. What the fuck does that even mean? So she had a weight gain, and she's a dancer. And like I said before, I think it's okay to have a boundary on a dancer. You probably don't need to be unprofessional about it and talk to the dancer. Well, I mean, she is their boss. The problem is we don't know any of the specific aspects. You know, if you worked your life to become a dancer and a celeb boss took you to a gay bar and kept telling you to touch a guy's crotch, and you knew people who didn't do what she wanted got cut, would you do the same? We don't know that people who didn't do what she wanted got cut. You're making an assumption that... So I understand power dynamics and how they do exist. Power dynamics exist everywhere, and her being the boss definitely can make them uncomfortable. And I still think it's inappropriate to pressure somebody to touch a new dancer at like Amsterdam. But the idea that she would have fired them if they didn't do that, what's that based off of? Now, if she did fire them, if somebody refused to touch the new dancer and she fired them, like, sue away. I agree with that. But we have no context here, right? To me, it almost sounds like an obnoxious asshole is like, oh, touch the stripper. You know, it's like annoying. But considering it sounds like, I don't know, they touched her leg, maybe even their junk, I don't know. They're not traumatized from it. Still inappropriate. But there's a lot of assumptions that there was like forced. You watched the video where the dancer said that? They said, what did they say? Did they say Lizzo told me she would fire me? Or did the dancer say, I felt like I would get fired? Because those are two different things. And I totally understand that. It's still wrong. What about the girl that pooped herself? I have no fucking idea. It's still wrong, obviously. But again, innocent until proven guilty. Right? Also, why isn't that being said in here?
Fairy super chatted $5.52.
Okay.
Good luck with my name, Papa.
Yeah, you said it for me. So, anyway, let's keep reading. I wonder what the health condition is. There's just so much missing context from here. The suit filed in Los Angeles Superior Court and provided to NBC News by plaintiff's law firm also accuses the captain of Lizzo's dance team of, what is this? Proselytize? What the fuck is this?
Proselytizing.
I got it right. What does that mean? To convert somebody to other performers and derailing those who had premarital sex while sharing lewd fantasies. What? Simulating oral sex and publicly discussing the virginity of one of those plaintiffs. What a weirdo. Why did you... I mean, the question is did they report that person and then nothing happened? They said other people would get benched for not participating with Lizzo. Okay, understand. The suit does not say if Lizzo knew about the allegations linked to the dance captain. Okay, Shirlene Quigley. But the plaintiffs believe the singer was aware of the complaints about her, according to their lawyer, Ron Zambrano. The suit names Lizzo, whose real name is Melissa. I don't care. Her production company and Quigley as defendants. In addition to the accusations of a hostile work environment, sexual harassment, the suit brings claims of religious and racial harassment, false imprisonment, interference, and with prospective economic advantage and other allegations. Not every claim is brought against each defendant. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. The stunning nature of Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seems to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly. While privately, she is weight shames her dancers and demands them in ways that are not only legally, but absolutely demoralizing. Oh my goodness. Is there a way I can read the lawsuit?
Oshin Theory super chatted $2.21. First time I ever super chatted, now I feel a fool.
I feel you. Is there the full lawsuit somewhere? The suit accused Lizzo of calling attention to the dancer's weight after an appearance by Southwest Music Festival. The singer and her choreographer later told the dancer, Ariana Davis, that she seemed less committed to her role. I mean, that might be true. Oh, if she felt like she gained weight, like whatever. Okay, I guess this is who she is. I mean, they're all already overweight. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, babe. Listen to the first verse of her song Rumors? Why? What is the... Where's Lizzo lyrics? They don't know. I do it for the culture. God damn. They say I should watch this shit I post. God damn. They say I'm turning girls into hoes. They say groupies. I got groupies on my shows. What am I looking at? All the rumors are true. What am I looking at here? That I'm supposed to like... That it's supposed to get me. The N-word? Oh, get her. She said the N-word. She said the N-word! She said it! I think that's what you're referring to. Oh, it's 3 hours to go through the whole entire thing. That's wild. That's crazy, dude.
Time for my hubby.
That's crazy. Last committed role comments. A thinly veiled concern about Davis's weight might have been Representatives for Lizzo did not. I mean, here's the thing. This part I care about. This part means this part matters the least to me, right? The idea of like, you know, encouraging, or however they explained it, forcing her co-workers to go out and touch a wiener or whatever, that's uncomfortable. That's definitely a really uncomfortable position to put somebody in, especially if she did leverage their job on that. You know what I mean? If she only would let people who were down get the job. If they can confirm that, like, absolutely, that's definitely, like, really shitty behavior, you know? If that was something that was understood, absolutely big problematic. We won't really know. The lawsuit's going to have to... I mean, we're never going to really know. Like, you know what I mean? Some of these things tend to get a little sensationalized, but it doesn't mean that they're sensationalizing it. Also, people need to understand, this is something with, like, lawyer talk. People have to understand. The whole idea when you engage with lawyers is...
Mock became a member.
Thank you so much for the membership. I'm not trying to defend Lizzo. I don't care. I don't really like Lizzo. But like when it comes to lawyers, the job of a lawyer is to win. And so what a lawyer will do is they will sensationalize the fuck out of a case. And then of course the media will double sensationalize the sensationalized piece. So if you're a lawyer and you hear your client say, yeah, we would go out sometimes and like she would kind of pressure us into doing this, you know, they could come up with like my clients felt that if they didn't perform a particular act that they were under the fear of them getting benched, even if that's not something that would be confirmed. I'm not saying that she didn't do it. What I'm saying is that like it's hard to jump and go, this happened, because of the way that like that's a lawyer's job, is to sensationalize what happened to their client. Then it's the lawyer's job of the other individual to sensationalize it basically in the opposite direction. And then somewhere in the middle, you'll meet like this is what happened. I'm not saying Lizzo didn't do a bad thing, because she very well may have, but we don't know, because it's possible that even what these people are alleging isn't necessarily what actually happened, because their lawyers are going to put it in like
Tom C.
different
super
speech.
$1.99.
Right?
Do you think she'll make a Colin-style flute vid?
Colin-style flute vid? You mean like a Colleen-style, like a flute? I think she should play the banjo or the ukulele or whatever. But either way, I don't care about the weight comment. Because, like, generally speaking, she has, like, it is hypocritical because she blew up. I mean, she's really a very average singer and whatever. She really only blew up because she's, like, a confidently overweight. And that's what our current society, like, demands. We already know fundamentally that, like, ugly people that are amazingly talented very rarely get the spotlight. And the point I mean is because like you can't just have talent. You also need to have a look. So people who are more attractive with less talent tend to get the spotlight over like ugly people with amazing, incredible amounts of talent. And so we know that Lizzo had a look that was in demand. So she's not even like a good performer. She's frankly, her music is okay, but she's like a mediocre at best. She's just meaty. If I'm being real. But the body shaming thing, either way, I mean, it depends on how she approached it about it. Sorry, my glasses are just not getting clean. It depends on how she approached about it, but it is her right to go to a dancer like, hey, listen, like, you're a dancer. I'm a singer. And so you have a different job requirement than me, and you need to adhere to that job requirement in, like, a different way than somebody else. So, like, I think it's probably a little hypocritical, but, like, from a legal perspective or, like, a moral perspective, I'm not, like, necessarily against it. That'd be like if I'm the streamer Papa Gut, and if I hired an editor and I gave them shit for, like, not editing correctly. I'm not an editor. I can't edit like them. But I could still maintain a particular standard for their work if I'm hiring or employing them, right? So yeah, that I don't care about. Representatives for the other stuff I do care. The religious conversion is fucking bizarre to me. I don't really understand it. I don't know if I'm necessarily super concerned about that. It just seems weird. It sounds like an overly religious, obnoxious asshole to me, which I'm not really surprised. The forcing people to touch genitalia, that sounds really shitty. And I could see the people being afraid to lose their jobs. You'd have to prove that it was actually a punishment to get benched or lose your job if you didn't, touch a stripper. I'm assuming it's a stripper. And then the making people stay for 12 hours and rehearse. I don't know what that is either. I don't know if they actually did drink alcohol or if they were sluggish that day or what happened and she had them stay longer to keep dancing because she's like a diva bitch. That's debatable. If they paid her, if she paid them for their time, not to be rude, I don't necessarily care. That would be the bigger issue to me. If she's like, we have to stay overtime, you need to get this perfect, you guys are doing shit today, and she paid them overtime, then okay. That would be where I'm going for more than anything else. So let's continue though. Okay, they didn't immediately respond. Quigley did not immediately respond. Efforts to reach Lizzo's production company, Big Girl, there's not even an I in there, Big Touring Inc., were unsuccessful. Wow, your whole identity is just being fat. That is obnoxious. Not to be rude. What's going on, Brion? How you doing, brother? Davis and another former dancer, Crystal Williams, began performing with Lizzo after competing on her Amazon reality TV show, Watch Out for the Big Girls, in 2021. According to the suit, the dancers were later fired. Why were they fired? Was it unrelated? Well, I guess that's the question, huh? Was it unrelated to something else? I don't know. The third, Nicole Rodriguez, was hired the same year after performing in the video Rumors. The suit says Rodriguez resigned earlier this year. Okay, Amsterdam club accusations. The trip to the Amsterdam strip club. What? Banabar? Whatever. Oh, this is the strip club. I can't pronounce that. Dude, what is wrong with me? All right, so it's a strip club. So already it's like, you know, it's going to get into weird waters here. All right, so it's a strip club. Gotcha. Happened after a performance in the city earlier this year. The suit states that Lizzo's after parties were routine and non-mandatory. Okay, which means you don't have to go, but alleges that those who attended were favored by the singer and had a greater job security. Okay, that's interesting. You know, could we hear more about that? Because I would need to know why they felt that way. And then it gets into an interesting conversation, right? It's a weird conversation, because now we get into the conversation of, wow, the word just like fucking escaped me. Fuck. Nepotism. It gets into some kind of a nepotism conversation because, like, oh, I'm friend. These people are more relatable to me. They're my friends. Like, I want to hire them more. And then it gets to a conversation. It's like, is that appropriate though? You know what I mean? There's also a difference between like people getting priority if they go to the strip club versus people getting priority if they will touch somebody's genitals, because those are two different things, right? Let's see. At the club, Lizzo allegedly began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos launched from the Jesus Christ from the performers' vaginas and eating bananas protruding from their vaginas. Lizzo then turned her attention to Miss Davis and began pressuring Miss Davis to touch the breast of one of the nude women. I wonder what she had said. Davis declined, according to the suit, and Lizzo allegedly led a chant goading her to do so. That makes sense if they're all drunk at a nightclub. That's not appropriate. The only thing that I'm like, I don't think that this is like some kind of predatory behavior. Not that there is anything asserting that it is. But like, yeah, I could see that happening. After Davis declined 3 more times, the chant grew louder and more strident, demanding a visibly uncomfortable Miss Davis to engage with the performer. Okay. Incredible. When Jesus Christ. I mean, this is already not... Oh my god, this is one of those issues where, like, you know, you can't, especially as in like a leading role, like you have to be very careful about being friends with your coworker, or not even your coworkers, your underlings. That's one of the biggest things, because like even if you don't intend to, like you could, like it's quite possible that those people felt like that was her boss when they went out. It's quite possible Lizzo felt like they were just friends, and then all of a sudden they come, or it's quite possible Lizzo was a fucking raging bitch. But it's just it's still possible. But okay, when Davis eventually acquiesced and briefly touched the performer, the group burst into laughter, the suit says. I mean, that makes sense. Afterwards, Lizzo allegedly pressed a member of her security staff to get on stage and began yelling, "Take it off," according to the suit. Plaintiffs were aghast with how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her, especially in the presence of many people whom she employed, the suit says. I mean, not for nothing. Like, I definitely, like, sue away, and I think that you should advocate as hard for yourself as possible, but this sounds like a bunch of people that got drunk at a nightclub and things got weird. Like, I'm not even trying to be a dickhead. But that's what this sounds like. Hey, we all got drunk, went to a nightclub. Lizzo thinks that she's the center of the universe because she's a fucking celebrity that got famous for being like literally like mediocrely talented. What lyric do you want me to see? Just literally, listen. I love you guys. If you have, I read lyrics. If you have specific lyrics from the song Rumors you want me to hear, I don't know if you guys know this, but you're all typing in a chat box. And so what you can do is you can Google the lyrics, and you could post what you want me to read in the fucking chat. Because I don't know what you want me to... You said read the first verse. I did. I was like, okay, what am I supposed to get? Put it in chat again. I'm pressuring you to put it into the chat again. And I can't see it. I don't see it. Tag me this time. Do like an @PapaGut so it yellows it up for me, okay? Do it again. All right. I wonder if any of them contracted an STI from the banana. Then I would go fucking crazier. All right, type it again, bro. I'm Lizzo-ing the fuck out of you right now. I'm pressuring you. And if you don't put it in the chat, I'm gonna prefer other people over you. I read the lyrics. I don't know what you want me to read specifically. What do you want me to sit here and like fucking do a Ben Shapiro type review of Lizzo's song? Oh, I'm reading this. What do you want me to read? Anyway, a week later, after a show in Paris, Lizzo invited her dancers to a club so they would be able to learn something or be inspired by the performance. Wow, what an excuse, the suit says. We got to get her for tax evasion, because if that's her excuse there, I wonder if she's trying to write off the club shit on taxes. Okay. The suit says, what Lizzo failed to mention when inviting the dancers to the performance is that it was a nude cabaret bar. The suit described the performance as artful, but the plaintiffs were shocked that Lizzo would conceal the nature of the event from them, robbing them of the choice. Okay, like, I get it if you're offended, but I guess, like, you went to a cabaret. If something inappropriate would happen, okay, nothing inappropriate apparently happened at the cabaret bar. There was just some people that were naked. Like, okay, it's not that big of a deal to me. This is what I'm kind of talking about, though. It's like, okay, so we got invited to go to a bar. Lizzo didn't tell us that it was like a nude artsy bar, which is like things that happen. Like, that's not really my thing, okay? And they're like, oh, they concealed the nature of the event, robbing us of the ability to not participate. This language is lawyer speak, and it's good lawyer speak. They should be doing this. This is how you advocate for yourself as a lawyer, but it is intentionally sensationalized. And like, I'm not saying that they should. I mean, if they win, good for them. But I'm just saying that, like, you have to bring it proportionally. Like, what happened? Lizzo invited to take us all out to a cabaret, and we didn't know that their boobs were out. It's like, okay, it was an ambush because they weren't shaved. It's true. It's true. The racial harassment claims is linked to the suit describes as comments charged with racial and fat-phobic animus. Whoa! That were made by touring company employees. What does that mean? In one instance, the former dancers asked to be compensated for their downtime at a rate of 50% of their weekly pay, according to the suit. An account allegedly responded to the request by offering 25% and scolding them for being unacceptable and disgraceful. I don't know. I mean, what does this mean? Do we care? I don't know the context of how these things work in, like, Hollywood. Are you assuming it was a nude artsy bar? It says it's a nude arts. Okay, yes, I'm making that assumption that is a nude artsy bar because there is no allegations of inappropriate behavior at this bar other than we didn't know that their tits were going to be out. And again, if there was something that happened there that was inappropriate outside of seeing the boobs, they would have been all over it talking about it. So I'm assuming nothing happened specifically at this bar. Where are the lyrics? What lyric am I told you to put my name. You see how this guy said Papa Gut? You see this right here? And it has a highlight over there? Okay? That's what I need you to do. I don't know what you're saying. I'm literally, unironically, and factually dyslexic. I can't look for it. I can't do it. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I don't really know how these dynamics work. They're on downtime. I don't know what that means. They request half their pay. They got a quarter of their pay. Okay. I mean, that might be standard business practice. I don't know what that means. Only the dance casts comprise of full-figured women of color were ever spoken to in this manner, the suit says. Okay, so they're saying that because they were black, they got disrespected by only getting half the pay they asked for, because they asked for 50% and they only got 25%. But then it goes on to say, hey, we were the dance cast. So they could have been discriminated against because they were black, Or that might just be the way that they treat the dance cast. That's this. Okay. The religious harassment allegations is connected to Quigley, the dance captain who also worked as a judge of Lizzo's reality show. According to the suit, she preached for her Christian beliefs and took every opportunity to basically convert any and all the presents, regardless of whatever. Yeah, so that just sounds like an obnoxious religious asshole. I mean, okay, you know, I'm not super surprised. They're Oh, it said, these are the self-report lyrics from the song Rumors in the second verse. Had to cut some hoes loose. Yeah, NDA, no loose lips. Oh. Maybe. That could be a self-report. I mean, that might be a self-report. I mean, I don't. That might be. I mean, so one thing is, it's thank you for finally tagging me in it. By the way, thank you so much. I love you. I thought you were gonna put the lyrics in, like, you know, like lyric speech, like, I don't know, like fucking. I guess you can't press enter. You have to keep typing, whatever. I was gonna try to do like a space, but you can't space. You can't do like enter next line. It just enters it. But okay, so it's quite possible that they signed. I mean, I don't know why else would they sign an NDA. I'm trying to think of a reason. Why would they have you sign an NDA? Is that typical? Is that typical? I don't know. Is it typical to sign an NDA? Is it typical to sign an NDA in the music industry? I just don't know. That sounds so weird. Okay, so it's possible that she did that because that's really weird as fuck, and she did something wrong and she knows it, so she paid them off. This says to preserve confidential information, including songs, vocal arrangements, and other creative artistic matters that have not been performed publicly. I don't really know. If it's normal for the industry, it's still weird that she'd brag about it. I don't know if it's necessarily a self-report, though. Okay. After discovering that Davis was a virgin, nerd, boo. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. After discovering Davis was a virgin, Quigley discussed the subject in the interviews and posted about it on social media. The suit says, and when cast members asked her to stop pressuring Rodriguez, whom Quigley regarded as a non-believer, according to the suit, about her faith, Quigley responded, "No job, and no one will stop me from talking about the Lord." So this is the problem: is that Lizzo. Like, Lizzo comes from a community, I guess, that has like some very religious foundations in it, and she hired a friend, and she didn't manage her friend correctly. That's shitty behavior. You really need to get on that. You know, it's fine to be religious, and it's fine to say, "I love God, He's pretty cool," but you can't pressure other people to do that. You know, if it was an atheist constantly bitch moaning and crying about somebody being religious and trying to convert them to you know, whatever, to not religious, we would see Fox News would be all cumming their pants over this. Dismissed dancers. 2 dancers were fired in April and May, according to the suit. Williams lost her job April 26th, days after she spoke up at a meeting in which she was challenged an assertion from Lizzo that dancers were drinking before performances. I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe they did drink. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. The day before, Lizzo had told the group that they would have to audition again, a move that prompted what the suit described as excruciating 12-hour rehearsal of Lizzo. Oh, it's a rehearsal. Do you get paid for rehearsals? Do you get paid for... I feel like you don't. Oh, wait. But you do, I think. I mean, this depends. I don't know what the music industry is. It says that in like that looks like the movie industry, right? SAG-AFTRA. Do you get paid for rehearsals? That depends. It's all over the place. I'm paid a little $20 for. Okay, so you do get paid for rehearsals. I wonder if it's a flat rate or if it's like, oh, that's interesting. If Lizzo was dissatisfied with her performance, the suit alleges the dancers would be fired and sent home. I mean, that's the point of a rehearsal. That part doesn't. I'm just saying. Isn't that the point of that part? If you're dissatisfied, you get sent home. During the rehearsals, Davis was also fearful she'd lose her job if she went to the bathroom. She soiled her pants. She was giving a see-through outfit with no undergarments to finish the performance. I mean, that's sad for her. It's quite... I would have just went to the toilet. I don't know. It's possible that she would have gotten yelled at for going pee in the toilet. It's possible that she wouldn't have. I don't know. I just don't even know. When Lizzo raised the issue again the following day, Williams responded saying the dancers didn't drink. The suit says the singer then allegedly offered what the suit describes as mocking reply. Well, if you're not, then good for y'all. Okay. So Lizzo, if we believe what they're saying, was being a real bitch about them drinking, even though they didn't drink, and then she made them rehearse a lot because she was unsatisfied with what they were doing. I guess the argument is that she, out of a retaliation for thinking that they were drinking, she decided to force them to continuously rehearse for 12 hours as a punishment. If that's true, that's really shitty. I think that's what they're trying to say. It's also possible that they were drinking and they just did a terrible fucking job. I don't know. 5 days later, Lizzo's tour manager fired Williams in the hotel lobby. The suit says the manager attributed the termination to a budget cut, said the suit, which noted that no one else was fired. Okay, well, did they hire? Well, the question there is, did they hire someone else? Because if they hired someone else, then the budget cut was a lie. But if they didn't fire someone else, then it looks like they needed to cut somebody. It's one of those things, too, where like when you're in a hyper-competitive space, you get cut for nothing. I actually saw a video. I'm not a big sports guy. I don't have a father. My father doesn't like sports, right? Because he's Jewish. It's a joke. Anyway, I don't even know why that's a joke. I don't have a father that don't like sports. But I remember seeing like a TikTok of this guy, and he didn't really do anything wrong. He violated the contract that like you're not supposed to have any women in the locker room with you. And I guess his girlfriend walked in and dropped something off, and they fired him. And it's because they are so inflated in some seasons that they're looking for any excuse to fire you. Because like it's a very competitive environment. And so this might be par for the course. You know, unfortunately, if you want to be a dancer, it sounds like a really tough. You're choosing a tough entertainment job, and like there's 1,000 other people that are dancers, and 1,000 other people that want to do what you're doing, and one little thing like pissing your pants might get you fired. I don't think was she the one that peed herself? No, Davis. What's Davis's name? What's her first name? Was Davis's and Williams, right? Those are two different people. Is it Davis Williams? I don't think so. William Davis? No, that's a guy's name. Rodriguez complained to the manager about the decision to publicly fire Williams, a move that Lizzo repeatedly raised with the dancers during... Okay, wait. Rodriguez complained to the manager about the decision to publicly fire Williams, a move that Lizzo repeatedly raised with the dancers during the April 27th meeting, during which she told the group, and she said, eyes and ears everywhere, according to the suit. So what this sounds like is Rodriguez complained about firing Williams, and then Lizzo basically said, we're listening to what you're saying, stop complaining about it, we made a decision. Like, okay. Davis recorded the April 27th meeting because she suffered from an eye condition that sometimes left her disoriented in stressful situations, the suit says. Days later, Lizzo held an emergency meeting and had security employees confiscate dancers' phones, the suit says. Interesting. So Davis recorded the meeting because she had an eye condition, and then Lizzo had a meeting to confiscate phones. This is so complicated. This is such a complicated thing because it sounds so shitty when you first hear it. And then you add the non-disclosure aspect of there is tons of time, energy, effort, and money put into not only songs, the way that you're going to record them, the outfits you're going to use to record them, the choreography, which is very expensive to put these songs together. And so now it's like there might have been a contract that signed an NDA that says you can't record anything. And so I wonder if that's part of it. Say it in the Discord then. Put it whatever you want me to see. Put it in the Discord. If like you have like in the general chat, I'll watch the general chat. And so I wonder if that's the aspect there. Lizzo became furious, hurling expletives at the group, and stated that she was going to go around the room person by person until somebody told Lizzo who made the recording. Okay, that might be that. Davis acknowledged recording the meeting, saying that she wanted to have a copy of Lizzo's performance notes. The suit said that. Maybe. That's possible. Might be possible. When Davis said she hadn't meant any harm and that she deleted the video, Lizzo allegedly responded, "There's nothing you can say to make me believe you." Miss Quigley and Lizzo then took turns berating Miss Davis, the suit said, after castigating... What the Just stop with the words, dude. I'm an idiot. I dropped out of high school. What is this?
Castigating.
I was right. What does castigating mean? reprimand severely. Just use the... Okay, so they reprimanded Miss Davis. Lizzo fired Miss Davis on the spot. Before Lizzo left the meeting, Rodriguez told her that she felt disrespected and wants to resign. The suit says Lizzo responded by cackling her knuckles, balling her fist, and using an expletive to tell Rodriguez she was lucky, the suit states. As Rodriguez left, the suit says Lizzo raised both her middle fingers and yelled a slur. What, like... Stinky boy! Had to cut some hoes loose. Yeah, NDA, no loose lips. Now them hoes trying to sue me. Bitch, I don't give two shits. Lizzo. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that could be a self-report. It also could just mean nothing, and it's just her telling them to fuck themselves. Here's the problem here. I almost guarantee you that they already signed some kind of a non-disclosure agreement where they were not allowed to record stuff. The second that you do that, especially a hyper-competitive field where a lot of these people are replaceable, they're said, you recorded it, we cannot trust you. The trust is broken. It doesn't matter what you may have or may not have wanted to do. That could have been catastrophic. But again, for all the energy and effort we invested in creating the songs, the choreography, the all the other bullshit that goes on there, the outfits that we're using, the this, the that, the other thing that are like specially tailor-made, and you did that, and fuck you. Now, should they have yelled at her in public? No, they shouldn't have. But I also am 33 years old, and I come from a generation where like we got yelled at work sometimes, because sometimes you did some fucked shit. You crash a bus, sometimes you're going to get yelled at. You know what I mean? Oh, you just caused like $17,000 worth of damage. We're going to fucking yell at you. You know what I mean? And not appropriate, I guess, but I'm also not really like shitting my pants about getting yelled at. She shouldn't have recorded the meeting. That's her fuck up. The other person defending your friend, that's nice. And then she got fired, and then Lizzo told them to go fuck themselves. They said a slur. I don't know what the slur is that they said. Sure. The suit alleges false imprisonment against Lizzo's production company because a member of her security detail allegedly forced Davis to remain in the room after the meeting ended so she could search for her phone for the video. That's interesting. I wonder if that is false imprisonment. I don't really know the confines of the NTA. Could be. Whatever. Good. Then if Lizzo loses, she loses. Good. You know. The suit does not specify a dollar amount for damages that cover emotional distress, including unpaid wages, loss of earnings, and attorney's fees. In the meantime, Lizzo continues to inspire fans. In a recent clip circulating on social media, the singer can be seen telling a young woman attending a concert in Australia how beautiful and special she is, and how she could be the greatest dancer in the world. Wow, that's beautiful. Who was it? It's a TikTok.
Monroe, what? You don't need my help. You are so cool. You are that shit.
Help me show my haters I'm 100% that bitch. Wow, beautiful. Oh, and she had her come up there. Wow. Wow.
So much time.
Okay. That's also a kid, but okay, very nice. Can be seen telling a young woman attending a concert in Australia how beautiful and special she is. Wow, beautiful. How she be the greatest dancer. Speaking to the fan who said she'd been bullied online, Lizzo said the words that we have a long-lasting effect on people. You know, it's really interesting. The impact of online bullying is a very upsetting thing. I understand how hurtful that can be. Let me see if this is the thing I'm looking for. Virgil got a paddock on my wrist. That's not what I'm looking for. The videos that just turn the computer off and walk away. I know it's much more complicated than that, but the joke failed. The joke failed, guys. You failed. I'm firing you all. All right, that's the whole thing. All right. So to sum it up, here is how I feel about this situation. You're gonna have to let the lawyers decide. Again, the specifics in the lawsuit are going to be sensationalized. That's what lawyers do. They're going to advocate for their people. Part of the advocation is releasing the information public to try to sway public opinion. It was a tactic that was used in the Johnny Depp trial as well to help him win. By the way, he deserved to win. I'm not saying that they deserve to lose, but you have to understand that a lot of this is curated by the lawyers. That's why they get paid ridiculous amounts of money, because they're supposed to come up with a lot of different arguments. You tell them that this happened, they take that and they hyper sensationalize it as much as they can because they're advocating for the person that they're defending, their client. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. But we don't really know the specifics of what's happening. And of course, Lizzo's not going to talk about it because she's suing them back. And it would be ridiculous. It would kind of be silly for her to fight back with it. At the end of the day, I know people want. I know people want me to be like, "Oh my God, Lizzo's so bad." I don't like Lizzo as a performer. I don't think that she's particularly attractive. Okay, sorry. I know that's rude. Everybody talks about how hot she is. She is she's an above average singer that has a look that society wanted to get, and that is a look of body positivity because that is the current brand in the space that she is in. That is why she's famous. She's also in a hyper competitive field, and she happened to have the right look. If this was 50 years ago, it would have just been like a skinny person instead, because again, it's a lot of it is the package that she's selling, not just what she is selling. And so that's it. We'll see what happens in the lawsuit. I will continue to have the same interaction with Lizzo that I do normally have outside of what I normally have, and that is changing the radio station if she ever comes on and if I'm ever in the car listening to the radio. So that's the end of that.